Good evening, y'all. Let's do this one more time. This one's 1099A. We can't seem to get past the questions, and I really want to do that before this Zoom meeting starts. So I'm going to do some more on the 1099A and try and get past a little of this confusion and everything, these questions that everyone's has. So I'm going to straighten them out the best I can, the ones that I can remember while I'm going along with this. Okay, guys, here we go again. First off, this right here is a 2014, okay? This was used a long time ago when I did the lien securities, okay? Now, these lien securities are going to have absolutely nothing to do with what you guys are trying to do right now, okay? These lien securities have to do with the conditional acceptance. You'll learn more about this as we get into the conditional acceptance. And what a conditional acceptance will do is it will notice the individuals that are messing with you, that this is coming down the line. These lien securities are coming down the line. Forget about the lien securities, okay, everybody? Forget about the lien securities for right now. I'll straighten this all out as we go. Down here in the description box is the description of what you're going to try and purchase through the trustee, the person, the car. If it's a car, it's make, model, year, color, and VIN number. It's a description of what it is you're trying to get. If it was a house, it'd be the mansion down on 12th Street at 118, 12th Street. It's a two-story, Victorian or whatever the case may be. That's the description that you'd use for that. The description in ours were lien securities because that's what we were producing. And we had to send the OIDs, the 96s, and the 1040Vs in. So that's where some of the confusion's at. The 1099A is the only thing that you're going to need to give to whoever trustee is. You'll give it to them, and they're going to do the OIDs, the 1096s, and the 1040Vs. That's on them. We did that for the Treasury as a convenience for the Treasury. Okay, here you go. We're also doing these other forms for you, the 1099 OID, 1096, and 1040V, so that it'd be easier for you to deal with this this trustee, Secretary of the United States Treasury. Those are the OID, the 1099As that you will do when it comes time to do the contract with the Treasury. After you do the conditional acceptance, you'll create a contract with the United States Treasury. And in the contract, you'll give them all this stuff. You'll fix it all up and send it to them in a nice, pretty little packet. Here, Treasury, here's your contract now. Here's all these lien securities. They're yours. If there's anything wrong with them, you have my power of attorney to fix them. If you choose not to fix them, then you'll have, you can send them back to us. And in that contract, we're basically saying, here's these lien securities, and here's all the paperwork, and it's all ready for you. All you have to do is file them and go and collect. So that's where a lot of people are confused at. If you're down trying to get a car or a house or furniture or anything else you're using a 1099A for as insurance, you're not going to put lien security in the description box. That's only going to pertain to the contracts you may or may not create with the Treasury. If all these trustees say, yeah, we'll take your 1099A, everyone you want to bring us, then there'll be no need to send them a conditional acceptance. Ergo, there won't be no need to send a contract to the Treasury with all these forms. So I hope that's clear. And another question that's asked a lot too is the the number here, okay, that's changed. That's an old number. I put the last one out on the last video. It's 52-0907065. Okay, that's the new FIN number for the Treasury. Over here, you'll see is the Social Security number. Yes, you do put the dashes in between it. You don't have to. You can put them all without a dash. You can put the first two numbers and then a dash, just like they're doing with the FIN number here, right? Any one of those three ways, it's gonna go through. I don't know exactly where y'all getting that from, what kind of process that some guru out there's probably said, well, you got to do it like this, this or that. It doesn't matter as long as you get all those numbers on that line where you see the little yellow thing, little post-it note blocking out the Social Security Sesticate Trust number for the all caps name, Christopher Allen Hauser. And if you'll notice up in here too, that's the Treasury's address. And down here below, where you see the name at, you'll see that's in upper and lowercase. And it's hyphen and colon, right? That's your human name. That's going to be your human address. The thing down here at the bottom, that right there is the account number that I created for each and every one of these 15 and 12 lien securities. That's mine. If you're going to put an account number in there, it's going to be for you trying to pay off a mortgage. That mortgage has an account number. If you're going to pay off a car, that car has an account number. That's the number that you'll put in there in the lower left-hand side of the 1099A. Okay? A lot of people have had a question about this. The address up here to the Treasury, right? If you'll see that, it says United States Treasury, right? And it'll say 1111 Constitutional Avenue. If you look up 1111 Constitutional Avenue, what you're going to get is the IRS's address. One of the questions is why is it saying the Treasury when it's the IRS's address? Well, that's because inside the IRS, they have a liaison, a Treasury liaison office. So we sent them to the IRS address, but we titled the address United States Treasury. That's so it goes into the office of the liaison at the IRS. It makes it super easy. Instead of carrying it down the street from 1500 Constitutional, it goes right to the liaison's office. He looks at it. He sends it right down the hallway to the IRS so they can start the collection process. Okay? That's why it's 1111, folks. That's why it's 1111. Whenever you fill out one of these, if you get 20 of these from the Treasury, you're going to get them in the year that's prior to the year you're using them. If you got them in this year, they're going to say 2020 on them. After the first of this year, and you get in 2022, the ones that you're going to get then are 2021. Okay, you're going to use them prior to the year before. Okay, that's how they work. That's how they work. I don't even think next month you can get 2022s. You may be able to, but I don't think so. I don't think they're even putting them out yet. But that's the question that a lot of folks have. Well, why is it that? Okay. Then there's the date. Remember I said these things are like a check, okay? They're not a check. They're not a three-party check. I said that they're like a check, and they are like a three-party check. They're going to work the same way, okay? It says, well, why are you borrowing from the Treasury if it's your trust? Because the Treasury is the bank. This is like taking a loan out from your own bank account, okay? It's the process that you have to go through. You're not really borrowing money from the Treasury. You're extracting funds, credits is actually what they are, credits out of the account, And you don't have to pay them back, because it's not like borrowing money like you would think from a regular bank account or a regular bank. You don't go to you go to the bank. I gotta borrow some money. Really, they're loaning you your own money, but the way people think about it, it's not going to even be like that, because you're borrowing the money from your own account. Okay, that's why I say it's like for instance, the Bible says, "Be more Christ-like." It doesn't say be Christ; it says be more Christ-like. That's the same point I'm trying to make with this. It's not a check, but it's check-like. Okay, it's going to operate just like a check, except it's not really a check. It's not really a third-party check. When you're writing a third-party check, they don't have to fill out a 1099 OID, 1096, or 1040 V pay voucher. But if you'll notice, it's like it. The reason I'm saying it's like a check is because it's got a to and a from. It's got an amount. It's got a date. It's even got a description. The description would be kind of like a memo at the bottom of the check. And then you turn it over and you sign it, okay? And when you turn it over and you sign it, you do it just like a check. If this is a check, right, you're going to turn it over, you're going to flip it up, and then you're going to sign the back of it like a check. That's how you're going to sign it. I showed an example of how it was on another one that I had, another video that I put out there. And then there's the amount, right? You see the amount is $4 million. You notice there's no commas or anything like that, because the machine's going to read this. These are readable. These are scannable. That's why you can't print these off the internet. You have to get them from the IRS, because these things will be they're photocopy, or they're carbon copied. And one of the last, I think, questions everybody has is, it says, "Do not cut or separate form from this page." And do not cut or separate form from this page. Okay, well, you're going to get you're the borrower, so you're going to get one of the copies that's in between. I think it's I don't know. I think it's a B, and they're perforated, right? Look, man, if there's an issue, if people can't decide whether or not they want to cut this, ours said in the 2014. I don't know if you can see it in this photocopy, but in the originals from 2014, they were perforated completely through, and you could separate them. But they still said, if you notice, they still said, "Do not cut." Okay? We weren't cutting them. They're perforated, and we're tearing them apart. But I don't think it matters either way. If you're only going to use one, and you're only going to use one, if you're buying a car, and you send two, who knows, man? They may take the bottom ones because you didn't fill them in and put them in a shredder. They may take the bottom ones and create two more 1099As. So you're getting a $100,000 car, and they're getting $200,000 in 1099As. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? Have at it, brother. Get the money. Just bring me my car. One of the guys I talked to today, he went to the dealership, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, man, I used to do this, and with homes, I used to do homes, so I know about this. I know I'm the trustee in the trust, and I've done this with mortgages and things, and so he's like, I understand it." But then he said, the dealers told the salesman told him, or the general manager said, "You just bring me proof that you're the beneficiary of the trust." And I don't know if he was confused or whatever, however it went down. But if I would have been there, I would have been, "Okay, you want proof that I'm the beneficiary of the trust? I'd have whipped the Social Security card out and said, here it is. I think what the guy was thinking was, dude, the guy that was acting as a beneficiary went down and said, I got this trust fund, and I'm the beneficiary of this trust. So automatically thought, oh, rich Uncle Joe done left this guy a trust fund. And that's what rich people do. They leave trust funds for, their nieces and nephews and children and stuff. And if I had a trust fund from rich Uncle Joe, and I went to the dealership and I said, look, I'm the beneficiary of a trust, and I want to get this new car. Okay, the dealer's like, yeah, I've done this before. We've done this kind of thing before with beneficiaries and stuff. Yeah, bring me proof that you have a trust fund, and and we'll get a hold of rich Uncle Joe, who's the trustee in the trust, and or whoever the trustee in the trust is. We'll get a hold of them, and they can write us a check from your rich Uncle Joe's trust fund. Rich Uncle Joe is really rich Uncle Sam, okay? And if you want proof that I'm the beneficiary of the trust, if the birth certificate and the Social Security card isn't proof enough, the back of the Medicare card says beneficiary signature. So that may be a problem that you guys run into when you go to these dealerships. You need to be very clear about what is the trust? Who is the trust? Look, man, the Social Security account is the trust. I have one. You have one. Your lonely broom pusher here at the dealership, the night watchman has a trust fund. You need to clarify that with these people when you're doing this, or they're just going to automatically assume that rich Uncle Joe done left you a bunch of money. That seems to be a problem. I have talked to people recently who have had dealerships accept their 1099As. So they get it. You're going to run across, maybe 1 in 20 dealerships that are going to go, yeah, I see this deal. I see what you're talking about. Even if they've never done it, they may see what you're talking about. That is the 1099A. I hope that I've answered enough questions about this document. If you don't feel comfortable about cutting it, give them the whole freaking sheet. Here you go, man. What do I care? Go ahead. Get whatever you got to get, or cut it, man. I would, especially the ones I was going to leave in the glove box and use for insurance. There's a couple folks out there right now that are doing the insurance thing. I'll keep y'all up on that as this goes. The Zoom meeting, I'm going to try and get with the posse tonight, hopefully, and we're going to go over how the ins and outs of how this is going to get set up. I'm hoping that I can get, by Friday afternoon, I'm hoping that I can get another video out releasing the information on the Zoom conference, because that's the only way it's getting out, folks. If you're not watching the video, I'm sorry. Go check it out once it's been recorded. I hope this answers the questions about the 1099A, because I want to get into the meat of this. The conditional acceptance, folks, is where the money's at. People are already asking about, well, how do I do a letter of credit? Well, don't even worry about that now, guys. Don't even worry about that. You have to know that there's at least X amount of dollars in your trust before you can start writing letters of credit. Some people on here I'm getting messages from that are trying to do the 1099A. It's not going to work. it's not going to work for you. I can already tell you don't know enough about what it is that you're doing, that, you know, you're probably going to fail. And when you do, stick with it, man, because you just didn't do something right, or you didn't say something in the, you know, the right way. We're going to work on all that because, you know, the 1090, getting turned down for the 1099A is a good way to get that conditional acceptance going. There's people with court issues, the challenge of jurisdiction. They're trying that. You got to realize what it is. If you're going to challenge jurisdiction, you have to know what you're doing. And you know, I hope I can get into that a little later, maybe in another video, how to go in there and deal with these clowns when you have to. And you do, because if you don't, they're going to come gunning for you. You know, cops are killing people these days, man. Don't give them a reason to. Go in there, you know, with a special appearance and challenge your jurisdiction, because they don't have it. If they had it, then they wouldn't need lawyers to get it. That's what lawyers do. They grant jurisdiction for the court. But I'll get into that in a later video. But for tonight, I hope this answered all the questions from the 1099A, so we don't have to kill an hour or two of that time. There is Zoom. There's a Zoom account open that you can go to. It's titled Christopher Hauser Chat Group. Get in it and start, you know, networking. Like I said, I'll get something out probably Friday night. I'll get something Friday afternoon out. So you'll have better than 24 hours to get ready for this Zoom meeting and figure out where you got to go for it. Please, don't anybody get in the Zoom meeting before it's time. I don't want to blow this account. From what I understand, there's only 1,000 people. I've already got 360 people on the email list. So, you know, I'm not saying it will, but there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to get into the Zoom. They're not even going to have a conditional acceptance, y'all. So, but all y'all that's ahead of the curve, you're watching these videos, I pray for y'all. I hope that we all get together in this thing really soon. And I hope that my time will be slacked up a lot more to where I can talk with y'all one-on-one. But for now, y'all, peace. Have a good night.